California Governor Gavin Newsom signing a bill banning law enforcement and ICE from wearing masks and taunting those agents.
This is a disgrace. This is an outrage, what we have allowed to happen in this country. ICE, unmask. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? This is not about the pronoun police. This is about the secret police. We're not North Korea, Mr. President. We're not the Soviet Union. This is the United States of America.
But Newsom 28 is just getting started. Do you buy this?
This is chilling. This is serious. I walked into a restaurant the other day. Entire staff came out, started hugging me and crying. The hell is that? The United States of America. What he's doing to our diverse communities, what he's doing to the fabric of our society.
We reached out for comment, but Governor Newsom's office gave no details on where or when this hugging event happened. Do you believe the governor that all of the illegal alien dishwashers and chefs ran out of the restaurant and hugged and cried?
In the same governor who went to the fancy restaurant during COVID when no one else could? No, I don't believe him. This is all posturing. He thinks this is what the party wants, and it is what the Democratic Party wants. It's not what the general public wants. But he's going to make his enemy, his opposition, ICE agents. Like these ICE agents, they are the most traumatized federal worker. For all the traumatized federal worker, the ICE agent is the most traumatized. If you think about it, first they were told, we got to abolish your entire industry. We got to abolish ICE. Then they were doxxed. They've been doxxed. Then we were told Border Patrol, their colleagues there are whipping people on the southern border. That turned out to be a hoax. That was completely false. And now they can't even cover their faces. And that's thanks to Gavin Newsom. They have to identify themselves. They have to wear ICE clothing. But you know why they need to cover their faces? Because there were people in LA putting up posters with their faces that said, careful with these faces. They kidnap people with their names and their numbers, okay? They have to protect their faces to cover themselves, and it's shameful for Governor Newsom to put them at risk.
Harold, do you believe that the ICE agents have a right to protect their identity?
I think they have a right to protect themselves. I think we're in an extraordinary moment where, to Kayleigh's point, a lot of these ICE agents are fearing for their lives and fearing for their families' lives. It's important to put in context, the ICE budget, as we sit here today, is bigger than the budget for the French military. Our ICE budget is the largest of any.
French military.
Well, I'm just putting some context around it.
Okay, that's funny.
And it was meant to be a little funny, but I don't have any issue with them protecting their face since there is a public safety matter that they're dealing with. It's unclear to me if Governor Newsom can pass a law that can be executed as it relates to federal law enforcement. I believe he can do it for state law enforcement, but federal law enforcement, we'll have to see how the courts do this. But I understand where he's coming from. I will say that I was with a senator this morning for breakfast here in New York, a U.S. senator, and there were three or four others that gathered with us for breakfast, and one of them is in business and here in New York, and he was explaining, he's a Trump supporter, but was explaining how he does have many of his employees who have concerns about the hierarchy of deportations. All of them are legal, but they have family members in and around New York who may not be legal, who they're concerned about. So I understand the fear rippling through and reverberating through. But I think the governor is misplaced here. I don't think there's anything wrong with the ICE agents whose lives are being threatened and their families are being threatened to protect themselves. Furthermore, I'm not even sure he has the authority to do this.
Okay. How did Ted Cruz like his eggs?
It
wasn't Ted Cruz.
Not Senator Cruz.
Politically,
scrambled, I hear, though.
Politically, Dana, is this one of those things where Gavin Newsom does this and the left loves it, and then if he ever gets to the general, he just gets hammered?
Okay, so do you remember? Yes. So what that event was like a fake bill signing.
Yeah.
It's a messaging bill. There's no authority to it. There's no power to it. And one of the things that also happened last week is Governor Newsom signed a bill to expand oil drilling in his state. That didn't go down so well with the left. So you got to throw the left a little bone. And the bone is a bill that has no teeth, in which also he went on the secret police rant. He said he compared ICE to the secret police, North Korea, Nazis, all the exact same things that the lunatics on that Discord chat were talking about with the assassin of Charlie Kirk. I mean, to me, I think that he's clearly has some people working for him that have decided this is the rhetoric you should use. I don't think it's authentic to him. It doesn't seem like him. And I would be surprised if it doesn't blow up in his face come 28.
Iris.
He's like Governor Behan. You know, he's like Sheriff Behan from the movie Tombstone when he tried to arrest Wyatt and them. You just look at him, you're not arresting us today. He's not doing anything. He just says things. I feel terrible for the poor people that actually have to be paid to listen to him speak because the crowds aren't overflowing. We're not seeing giant rallies for Newsom. You know, we're not seeing these. When you hear the clap, it's like one person, the staff claps like, and it was like, oh yeah, he said something good. He's just posturing, and he has no original. He could get so much ground if he just would man up and call strikes when there's strikes. Hey, this is wrong. I don't want a part of this. I disagree on philosophy. I disagree on policy. Here's a couple ideas I have that I think would work, but that's not it. Instead, it's that ridiculous ratcheting up these words that the bottom of our society take up as calls as martyrdom. He's pathetic. I'm going to make a law. And then, like, how dare you try to Clint Eastwood us? And the secret police. Like, you're just a wash. You know what? Slicked hair went out, 20 years ago? Try a Jerry curl, bro. Try something else. Step out your box. But you're not arresting anyone today, Behan.
Jerry curl, I like that idea.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.